For years, the £50,000 cost of a second cochlear implant made it impossible. But now an incredible offer has landed in my lap, removing that financial barrier. My first surgery, however, was terrifying with 8 hours of complications, so now I have to decide if I'm brave enough to risk that again. I live in a modern world, but it's like only ever hearing music through a single earbud. You get the tune, but you don't realise the richness, the depth, the full orchestra you are missing until someone hands you a pair of proper headphones. The reason I'm so hesitant goes back to my first cochlear implant surgery. Now, historically, I was told I had progressive hearing loss when I was 7, and my hearing had been failing ever since, as if the world was slowly muting. By the time I was 30, 3 of my cousins were facing similar hearing loss, and I was the first in the family to get a cochlear implant. Walking into that operating theatre, I felt like a gladiator entering the arena, terrified but desperate for victory. My surgeon had performed 200 cochlear implant operations without a single disaster. What should have been routine became an 8-hour search. They couldn't find my cochlea. I woke up to devastating news. After 8 hours of searching, they'd hit a cavity instead, either mistaking it for my cochlea or finding it blocking the path. My better ear, all remaining hearing, completely gone. One relative always said I had a funny-shaped head. Turns out they might have been onto something. It was a battle I never expected to fight. The aftermath was brutal. The cavity was leaking, so I had to be incredibly careful showering no water in that ear for fear of infection. The tinnitus was relentless. I slept constantly, partly to escape the failure, but mostly because the whole experience had knocked me out for 6. 3 months later, my surgeon found a solution. It involved another surgery, taking fat from my tummy to seal the cavity. This second procedure was also 8 hours long, but crucially, it was a success, and my cochlear implant was finally activated and working. Now, I must stress my experience with those complications was highly unusual. That whole traumatic experience eventually gave me something I'd never had before: consistency in my hearing. But here's what I discovered recently that changes everything. People who've gone bilateral often report it was the best decision they've ever made. The potential for 2 cochlear implants is apparently so much more than each implant by itself. Many describe experiencing fuller, clearer sound quality, improved localization, the joy of music returning, significantly better hearing in noisy environments, and a reduction in listening fatigue. These are the possibilities I'm considering. So if bilateral offers such amazing possibilities, why haven't I done it? For the past 23 years, the £50,000 cost of a private cochlear implant has always been a barrier, making a second one impossible. The National Health Service in the UK usually only funds 1 implant. Bilateral is only approved in exceptional cases. So for most of us, that second implant means paying privately or going without. But now with an incredible offer, the financial barriers removed. My biggest fear is simple. Could this happen again? My body structure hasn't changed, but surgical technology has. Modern CT and MRI scans can now map my internal structures beforehand. They can literally create a 3D map, almost like a GPS to the inner ear, and surgeons can plan the exact route before making the first cut. This means procedures are far more precise, and complications like mine are highly unusual today. But I still asked myself if I knew for certain the surgery would work really well. Would I want bilateral hearing? The answer hit me like lightning. Absolutely yes. I'm not afraid of better hearing. I'm afraid of 8 more hours of searching. But I'm done letting fear make my decisions. Instead of letting fear decide for me, I'm taking control. I'm going to interview surgeons who work with today's technology and ask them directly, how would you approach my specific case differently now? And I'll speak with people who've gone bilateral to hear their real experiences. So I'm standing at a crossroads, stay in my comfortable, limited world where I know exactly what to expect, or to push through short-term fear for something that could genuinely transform how I experience life. Safety costs nothing, but keeps me exactly where I am. Courage requires risk, but could unlock everything I'm missing. The person offering this £50,000 believes it's worth the investment, but ultimately I'm the one who has to live with whatever choice I make, whether that's staying safe or taking the risk. So I'm asking you, have you ever stood at a crossroads between playing it safe and taking a leap that could transform who you are? Drop a comment below, because I'm still wrestling with this decision, and your experiences might be exactly the wisdom I need. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe. I share my ongoing journey with hearing loss and cochlear implants here, and I promise to update you on whatever decision I make. See you in the next video.